All right, let's continue. Okay, so we have these strategies left, and we're gonna rank them. The bold move. Let's talk about. Let's see what the bold move is, because sometimes this is actually one that kind of confuses me sometimes, because the bold move and proving yourself, they both have a similar similar thing to them, but they're also kind of different. So the bold move is this: a moment has arrived. Your victim clearly desires you, but is not ready to admit it openly. Let alone, let alone act on it, right? So now the person likes you. They're brimming with emotions, but they don't know how to express it. They're shy. They don't know how you feel, so they're keeping it inside of them. They're holding their love for you. This is the time to throw away chivalry, kindness, and coquetry, and to overwhelm them with a bold move. Don't give the victim time to consider the consequences. Showing hesitation and awkwardness means you are thinking of yourself as opposed to being overwhelmed by the victim's charm. One person must go on the offensive, and it is you. So, this depends on your sex, and this depends on the role that you have. If you're the one that's being chased, if you're the woman, then yes, you don't do this actually. But if you're the man, this is for men. The man is the one who's supposed to make the move. She wants to marry you, but she doesn't want to propose, and you're the one that does it. She wants to be your girlfriend, but she doesn't want to propose. You're the one that does it, right? And so because of that, this is one of those things that this is a man driven type of thing. So because it's man driven and it's sex related, we're gonna put this in B tier, in A tier. Sometimes women make the move, so it's different, right? Oh fuck, people, let's go back to this. All right, so let's continue. So now, okay, there we are. Now we have these one, two, three, four, five, six, right? Physical lures, send mixed signals. We're gonna put send mixed signals in A, S tier. Sending mixed signals is one of the best ways, literally, one of the best ways to make somebody like you. There is no what do you call it? There's no denial. There's no denial that this is one of the best strategies to use, because what you do is that you show them you like them, and then you show them you don't. You're present one day, and then you're cold the next. You act like you like them, but then you act like you like someone else. In my opinion, sending mixed signals is a combination of mixing pleasure and pain, creating triangle, sowing words of confusion, creating a false sense of security. I think mixed signals is literally the combination of all of them, and I think it's the best strategy in my opinion. Yeah, it's S tier. All right, next one. Poeticize your presence. We're gonna go this with B tier. Poeticizing your presence is all about enhancing your presence. Actually, let's read what it says about this, because I think this is actually a really good one. Uh, Important things happen when you and your target are alone. The slightest feeling of relief that you are not there, and it's all over. Familiarity and overexposure will cause this reaction. Remain elusive then. Intrigue your target by alternating an exciting presence with a cool distance. Exuberating moments followed by a calculated absence. Associate yourself with poetic images and objects so that when they think of you, they begin to see you through an idealized halo. The more you figure, the more you figure in their minds, the more they will envelop you in seductive fantasies. In other words, create associations. An example is associating yourself with a religious figure. This is why I said using spiritual lures, using spirituality, talking about spirituality in their minds will associate you with the spiritual. But also is enhancing your presence one day and then the next disappearing. Surrounding yourself with spectacle where they don't just see you, They associate you with spectacle, taking them on a great date where the background illuminates you, where the background makes you look larger than life. Um, it's pretty much about enhancing your presence and trying to make an impression at the end of the day, and above all, pulling away the next day, or pulling away, or giving the impression of absence. And that's why I said make signals is one of the most powerful strategies, because it entails that. But also, it can mean dressing in a way that looks very spectacular rather than dressing normally, putting in the effort to dress in a spectacular, larger than life type of way, because then people will remember you in such a way. The next one is using physical lures. Now, let's read what the physical lures means, right? Criticizing your present. Target Targets with active minds are dangerous. If they see through your manipulations, they may suddenly develop doubts. Put their minds gently at rest and awaken their dormant senses by combining a non defensive attitude with a sexually charged presence. While your cool, nonchalant air is lowering their inhibitions, your glances and voice and bearing oozes sex and desire, are getting under their skin and raising their temperature. Never force the physical, literally. Instead, infect your targets with heat. Lure them into lust. Morality, judgment, and concern for the future will melt away. So it's pretty much seduce them with your physicality, right? With women dressing in a way that's provocative. As a guy, dressing in a way that's provocative too. Whatever you hey, look, sometimes physical lures mean dressing up in a costume that women like, right? But dressing up in a way that reminds them of something in the past. But physical lure, because it's so powerful on men and women, we're gonna put this in S tier, in my opinion, because when people get married, they use this too, right? They dress in a way that says purity, so it is a powerful strategy. Um, the next one is give them space to fall. The chaser becomes the pursuer. You're making a move, you're trying to seduce them. There has to come a point when you gotta let them chase. And this is very powerful. There comes a point where I'm showing you, when I'm the one who's showing you interest. And in my opinion, this is very important, because even if they're chasing you, if they're the ones, even if you're chasing them, right? As a guy, I will chase a woman. But there comes a point where the woman has to be the one that shows interest too, right? So you gotta give the person space to chase. You already did the effort. I already asked you out. Now it's your turn to show me that you like me. Now it's your turn to prove yourself, right? So letting them chase is letting them prove themselves. I already showed you I liked you. I deserve that you showed me you like me. So let me stand back and let you do what you want to do. My opinion, S tier. You have to do this. There's no compromising with this. You have to do it. Okay. Oh, we got two more people. Oh Lord, which one should I put? We got confused desire, stir up anxiety. We're gonna go with confused desire with reality, creating the perfect illusion. To compensate for the difficulties in their lives, people spend a lot of time daydreaming, imagining a future full of adventure, success, and romance. If you can create the illusion that through you, they can live their dream. Baby, if you're with me, we could travel the world. Baby, if you're with me, we could get married. Baby, if you're with me, we could go on vacation. Baby, if you're with me, I'll give you commitment. Baby, if you're with me, I'll suck your dick. Says the girl, right? Like, make sure to play up on their fantasies. Know what they want and verbally say what that you're willing to fulfill what they want. And this is kind of similar to politics, where you know the pain of the people, so you promise them a future. Hope, make America great, the great new hope. Right? Like it's like no more slavery, right? You promise them a future, and if they want it bad enough, they'll follow you and believe you. Uh Aim at a secret wish: emancipation, freedom, being able to vote, not being slaves, make America great, right? Like you know what they want. You tell them maybe they're an overly romantic person, so they want a relationship. You say, "Baby, me and you could have two kids, and we could call them Bob and Joe." Right? You know what they want. Tell them what they want, and they're gonna confuse desire with reality. Um, Aim at a secret wish that been thwarted or repressed, stirring up uncontrollable emotion, clouding their power of reason. This reminds me of Catch a Predator. How some of these guys were bullied, never had a girlfriend when they were young, and because they are in what do you call it? They are stuck in they're in arrested development, meaning when they were young, growing up, the girls that they liked, they didn't like them back because they were ugly. So when they grow up, they're still into those types of girls. So you get a girl from Catch a Predator. Hey, come over, hang out. He comes over. He's like, oh my God, it's her. I'm gonna fulfill my fantasy, even though I don't know why there's a pizza box and I don't know why she's there. And this looks like fucking Chris Hansen. Maybe I should walk away, but no. This desire, this fantasy is too intense. He walks in knowing that maybe he might get caught, but the desire for the fantasy, the words that person told him, feels too real and too enticing. He sits down with her. The girl sits down, says, I'll be back. I'm going to get some food. And Chris Hansen walks right through. And what happened here? Well, this person had such a deep desire that he stopped thinking straight. All he wanted to hear was the possibility of making this fantasy come true. All the power of reason goes away. This person might cheat on their girlfriend, on their boyfriend. This person might risk a lot of things just to fulfill those fantasies. And the person with the power is you, because you're the one that's promising things that they can't control their desires over. Lead the seduced to a point of confusion. This is literally what Chris Hansen does to predators. Not wild, right? It's kind of crazy. Isolate. Okay. Lead the seduced to a point of confusion in which they can no longer tell reality and illusion. So because of that, this is what politicians use, and this is so fucking cruel that you could waste a person's time and energy. We're putting this in S tier once again. There's too many S tiers. We're in the last one. And this one is beware of the after effects. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is powerful. But because this is where most people fuck up, where they get the person, they like them, but because they're so needy, they never give the person space where they end up pulling away. This is why most relationships last no more than 1 or 3 months. And the after effects prevents the person losing interest after 1 or 2 months. So it goes like this. The danger follows in the aftermath of a successful seduction. After emotions have reached a pitch, they often swing in the opposite direction, towards lassitude, distrust, disappointment. If you are to part, make that sacrifice swift and sudden. If you just wanted to bang them, make it quick and swiftly. Leave as soon as possible. Don't linger on. If you are to stay in a relationship, beware of flagging of energy, a creeping familiarity that will spoil the fantasy. A second seduction is required. Never let the person take you for granted. Use absence, inflict pain, and create conflict to keep the seduced on tethered hook. So the way to do this is to make sure you never let them take you for granted by, one, absence, creating pain, and conflict. And this, you keep them engaged and you keep them interested in you without them losing interest in you. And because of that, I'm sorry, I hate putting things in C tier and S tier, but there's just too many S tiers. Too many S tiers here, man. So let's look at this, right? So we have choose the right victim, just use words to confuse, isolate them, give them space to fall, approaching indirectly, use spiritual lures, create a triangle, enter their spirit, confuse reality with illusion, mix pleasure with pain, and beware of the after effects. The A tier, the art of insinuation, the bold move. It's I say this because it does work, but it's not necessary, or it's only for one of the sexes, or it's a combination of another strategy. So that's why I put it in A. B tier is things that work but are not necessary. keep them in suspense, creating temptation, proving yourself, poeticizing your presence, and disarming through weakness. You don't need this, but it does help. And one that's like, you don't need to do this because if somebody likes you a lot, they may not notice that you're not paying attention to detail in the beginning, at least. So that's why I put this as C tier. Let me know what other book I should do tiers of. I may do the 40-Year Laws of Power after this. And let me know which other books I should do. And if you like this type of video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.